What is going on, everyone? Rounds 2 and 3 have ended for the Houston Texans. Let me know your draft grade in the comments down below, and appreciate everyone who was on the Bleacher Report live stream with me. Look, I'm going to go ahead and give today a B. It's definitely not how I thought the day was going to go. There were some names that we hadn't discussed, but yet here we are, the Houston Texans. I still think they got better. And I am now even more excited for tomorrow. There is some names on the board, names that the Houston Texans have had top 30 visits with. One of them, wide receiver Javon Baker from UCF. He is still available on the board. But we are going to react to the Houston Texans 3 draft selections. If you're not on my Houston Texans Discord, let me know if you want to be added in the comments down below so I could personally send you the invite. At pick 42 for the Houston Texans, no, they did not trade up even though I wanted them to. There was a lot of names available. They went with Kamari Lassiter, cornerback from Georgia. He stands at 6 foot, 180 pounds, 21 years of age. Here is the PFF first look. Lassiter is a very smart football player, especially for his age and experience. He's very young. He understands that winning at cornerback starts with anticipation, controlled footwork, and fundamentally sound hand placement and hand fighting. He is somewhat limited when it comes to twitchiness. He is controlled and can change direction quickly, but his first step doesn't explode as well as it does for other cornerbacks, and his long speed, while adequate, needs more buildup. In run defense, he is conscious and funneling players inward, but does so too conservatively at times, and then fails to make a good tackle attempt. Let's go to Lassiter's pros and cons. His pros: from his hands to his feet, Lassiter is smart, fundamentally sound player who understands the importance of technique. This screams D'Amico Ryans. Hand placement and punch timing in press are reliable and consistent. Not the fastest footwork, but he does look in control at all times. Savvy hand fighter throughout the route. Smart and sound run defender who does not give up sideline and funnels ball carriers in, meaning he does not lose the edge. His cons: a good but not great athlete when it comes to recovery speed and burst. Long speed can be adequate, but he needs build-up time. Sometimes too conservative when funneling players in run defense. And not much ball production despite playing more than 1,500 snaps the past 2 years. He only had 1 interception on the year, and that was in 2021. Look, I love this move for the Houston Texans because you needed to do something at the number 2 cornerback spot, right? My confidence level wasn't high in whoever won between the battle of the 2 busts, Jeff Okudah or CJ Henderson. With that being said, you immediately put Lassiter in that battle, and I would expect him to win. He has a style of football to him that is nasty and aggressive. He is locked down. In 3 years, did not allow a single touchdown. And you saw what he was wearing today, right? The big just chain of a lock on there. And this is the swagger I wanted next to Derek Stingley. Kamari Lassiter, you are a Houston Texans. Welcome to the H. Now their second selection in the second round, pick 59 for the Houston Texans. They shocked everyone. And they went Blake Fisher, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Now, he spent the last 2 years at right tackle, but this move shocked everyone. I thought the Houston Texans were going to get a wide receiver, maybe a tight end, maybe a running back, but tackle? It is questionable. However, you invested into your quarterback, CJ Stroud. And Patrick Storm had let everyone know in the group chat that the Texans were very high on Blake Fisher. Now, the question needs to be asked, what happens with Titus Howard? But before we get into that convo, Fisher is a 2-year starter at right tackle. He wins with power as both a run blocker and a pass blocker. He has a wide, strong base that allows him to generate a ton of power through his lower half, making for an impactful punch at contact. He is an ideal combo dual run blocker for a run-man gap scheme. Fisher also checks the box for being able to displace and redirect pass rushers. His foot speed is somewhat limited, and because of that, he may always struggle with speed rushers who attack his outside shoulder. His size and power do mitigate that, though. He stands at 6'6", 312 pounds. His pros: wide base at the snap to get in a three-point stance for run blocking. Impactful combat duo blocker, would fit well in a predominantly man gap scheme. Strong player at the point of attack who can really displace and redirect defenders. His cons: feet hop more than move, too much time with both feet not grounded, overextends too often, and foot speed may be too slow to really protect the outside shoulder without a good jump. Look, we talked about adding a receiver. We talked about adding a defensive player, a running back, a linebacker. I said this is the luxury of having 2 second-round picks. And the Houston Texans use that mindset with Blake Fisher. Now, the question is, what happens with Titus Howard? Because we know he wants to be a right tackle. When you go on his Twitter bio, it says right tackle only for the Houston Texans. Now, you didn't just draft Blake Fisher to sit the next 2 years behind Titus Howard. So I see a swing tackle here. Is there a move to guard? I really don't know, and I really don't think so with the 2 years of right tackle starter experience. I wonder if the Houston Texans kick Titus Howard back to guard or just let Blake Fisher develop, and when it's his time to start, he is a starter. Because remember, we only have Titus Howard for 2 more years. However, this pick was questionable for the Houston Texans. I understand it. You want to protect C.J. Stroud, and with only 2 years left on the contract, you kind of want to look towards the future. But Blake Fisher, welcome to the Houston Texans. He was there at pick 59. Then we get to the 3rd round where the Houston Texans had one final selection. However, they traded up and drafted Calen Bullock, safety from USC. Now, we talked about Calen Bullock on the channel having a top 30 visit with the Houston Texans, 6'3", 190 pounds. Bullock has top tier range and does his best work from a single high alignment. He has a long speed, hip fluidity, and footwork to break on the ball and cover a ton of ground. He is also good at reading and baiting quarterbacks into throws. He shows off wide receiver-like ball skills when defending the pass. Most of his negatives in the scouting reports are in the run defense. He is slender and currently lacks the NFL level of strength density to be reliable there. Though his movement skills are cornerback-like and can translate to slot coverage, his strength is an issue when playing near the line of scrimmage or against tight ends in man coverage. His pros: elite movement, skill, and range. Hips, feet are like a cornerback. Wide receiver like ball skills. Good ability to watch a quarterback's eye and bait them into throws. His cons: lacks NFL level strength and density when tackling. Struggles to match up with tight ends due to lack of strength. Can get lost in gaps, fits, and lack of strength causing him to get reckless when tackling. 3 cons, just pointing out his lack of strength. So he just needs to put on muscle. I have no doubt that Calen Bullock could do that here. But the Houston Texans get a safety, a coverage safety, and that is what they need. They had a lot of problems towards the end of the year. Problems with Jimmy Ward, problems with Jalen Petrie. And here's the thing, man. The secondary, you needed to invest into it. There was currently no youth until you add in Calen Bullock. But with Jimmy Ward, he only appeared in 10 games for you. I don't think he finished those 10 games. Jalen Petrie had a horrible year 2 after a promising year 1 where he had 5 INTs, had 0 last year, just was a liability towards the end of the season. I think Calen Bullock should shock the safety room and let them know that he is coming from one of those spots. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans, in the 2nd round, They went Kamari, Lassiter, cornerback from Georgia, Mike Fisher, right tackle from Notre Dame, and Calen, Bullock, safety from USC. Let me know your draft grades down below. If you're watching this video, I probably will be live right now. For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Come back and follow me for more. Go H-Town. Have a very blessed day.